Hey folks, KILT-MAN here, KILT-MAN at your services. How are you all? Hope you're all doing very, very well. And hope you're all continuing to be festive and to make merry, to eat, drink, and just have fun. Well, I'm trying to anyway. Now, this is only a wee little video, this. How many times have you heard that before? And then 2 hours later, I'm still waffling on. No, it's just to wish you guys, all you super subscribers and the Kilted clan out there around the world, a happy Christmas and a fantastic new year. 2023 can't be any worse than 2022 or 2021 or 2020. Things are getting steadily worse, aren't they? Oh, no. Keep the faith, brothers and sisters. It's going to be better come the new year. Now, again, as always, there's a slight apology to make here. Yes, I promised to do lots and lots of videos over the Christmas period, and it hasn't really happened. Well, you know, it's one of those, isn't it? Because you're busy, you're getting stuff, you're going out, you're doing this, you're doing that. Everything's hectic, everything's a bit pell-mell. And as most of you guys know, that my sort of end of the year phase has been particularly chaotic, mainly due to the fact that A, I had COVID, B, I put my back out, C, big kilt mama died, my father-in-law, big Bob Alty, put himself into hospital, and in the meantime his house flooded. Yes, his pipes burst and his house is flooded. We've had all this to contend with. Plus, I've still got the lingering cough from COVID. Oh yeah, when everyone was going about, long COVID and all that, and I was like, oh, what? Get lost. You just have a virus, you get over it. It's just one of many viruses. Oh, how many times have I been forced to eat my words? Because, yeah, I've got that pesky cough. Now, you could always say that, look, you've been out and about, strutting your stuff, ooting about, clubbing it, pubbing it, and meeting everybody under the sun, shaking hands, happy Christmas, good to see you. A large grouse, isn't it? Coming up, KILT-MAN, shake my hand. And yeah, it could be catching all sorts of viruses, as you would anyway at this time of year. But it does seem slightly ironic to have this pesky dry cough, which will resurface throughout this video. I don't seem to go more than 5 minutes without going and it's just one of them little annoying niggles. There's nothing there, nothing substantial. So, health has been ruined, family has been dwindled somewhat, and the liver's still going on. Well, let's put that to the test, shall we? Now, I was going to do a video watch-along party for the snowman. Yes, the classic animated snowman. And I just thought that'd be a bit of fun. And it's only a short, it's like, what, 25 minutes, half an hour? Thought we could do that. And because I've got it on some kind of 30th anniversary disc. And I thought, I'll find that, put that on. That'd be a little stocking filler for you all. And again, could I find it? No. Irony being that I couldn't find it, went out, had a few drinks, came back, and my son went, it's on Channel 4 right now. So, of course, light bulb went on. Well, should I just do it? But Dad, I'm playing video games. God, this was Christmas Eve. It's like, oh, yeah, you carry on then. So, I went out again. But in the meantime, I asked Mrs. KILT-MAN, oh, just go through all the shelves that you can find that have got discs on them. That's no short order, that, because they're everywhere, and there's stacks and stacks of discs everywhere, of every kind of variety, and couldn't find it anywhere. Now I've got it, so I don't know where it's gone. The spook, the ghost of KILT-MAN past, as always, he took it and vamoosed it to the other side, knowing that I wanted it. So that little video never happened. Now I also promised I was going to do a Jaws watch-along party today. Now today's Boxing Day. Boxing Day, you say? Yes. How many rounds can you go? Toe to toe? You can't put me down. You ain't gonna put me down because I'm not gonna get up in the first place. It won't happen again today. I do apologise. It'll probably be the next day, tomorrow. It's just we've got loads more to do today. That's what's going on. We had a massive meal yesterday, which I prepared with these fair hands here. And we went down to Dave the Butcher's. That's Owens and Sons, just down the road there. It's fantastic. And I said to everyone, look, in the Kilted clan, I said, look, we're having a selection of meat on the table. Going back old school, I want beef, I want lamb, I want turkey. It's all going to be there. So I bought beef, I bought lamb, I bought turkey. It cost a fucking fortune. And I had all this grandiose plan of having all these different meats. Of course, forgetting the fact that my daughter is actually vegetarian, so that's even more meat for the rest of us. That's never a bad thing. But however, there is a husky dog here who she'll have anything, especially if it's meaty. So it's not going to go to waste, to put it that way. Now, I bought a turkey crown, not the full bird. The turkey crown is smaller than the full bird, depending on how big that turkey was to begin with. And I'm playing Bernard Herrmann's score to the fabulous Ray Harryhausen, Mysterious Island. Now, you know, there's lots of animals which are grown to humongous sizes. Bees, chickens, other stuff. And there is an animal there. Is it a chicken? It's huge. And you capture it and, of course, kill the bastard and eat it. And it could dine out for months on the meat from its bones. Now, I think the turkey crown that I got came from something similar to that, because it was all wrapped up in the stringy bits and all that, and it was like, even trussed up, it was like that. That was big. Because dickhead here, Mrs. Kiltman's going, you don't snip that, you leave it on, it keeps it in, otherwise it's going to go bleh. I went, no, I know what I'm dealing with here. Snip, 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 snip. And of course it did go, whoa. And the baking tray, which is huge, it just filled the baking tray. I was like, oh my God. I mean, look, the turkey crown's normally on the bone, so half of that's going to be bone. Been deboned. This was prehistoric. Anyway, cooks it. Oh my God, it was just to die for. Well, that turkey did die for it. But my God, it was gorgeous. But I realised, I thought, well, I cooked that on the Christmas Eve, as it turned out. So it was let it live, let it breathe for a bit. And then we'd have it cold on the day with cranberry sauce and all the gravy and all the trimmings, everything, parsnips, everything was there, chestnuts, everything was there. And there was no room and no need to do the beef or the lamb. So we're having beef today. And by the way, that beef, I fully suspect, that was smaller, but it's still like, it's like that. And there's a name for that kind of he said, oh, but I have my earphones in, so I wasn't really listening properly. He went, this is absolutely the best beef you're going to get. And it's beef. And I went, yeah, fine, that's fine, whatever. And I was dead blasé until he came up with the price for all these things. That was an eye widener. Oh, yeah. And I bought pigs in blankets as well. And all that stuff, all that caper. So we've got to go through it all over again today. But of course, there is still, I'm pointing over there, which you can't see, but there's actually 2 big plates with turkey. Like that. 2 big hillocks of turkey. And like the TARDIS of turkeys, this thing was bigger once you cooked it than it was to begin with. How the hell did that happen? I know everyone gets the same problem. Oh, I don't even like turkey, it's too dry. Bullshit! Get the right turkey, it's gorgeous and it's succulent. This, even after sitting there for best part of a day, waiting to be eaten and devoured. And even now, the next day, because I had for breakfast, I had a turkey and cranberry sauce butty. Slightly toasted. Delish. And the dog will agree, because she had half of that as well. But it's lovely and succulent, and of course you've got your gravy. We had applesauce, we had cranberry sauce, we had another sauce as well. What was that one? Can't remember it now. But the table was it was great, and it was a throwback to the old days. Now, again, because Janet's dad, Mrs. Kilt-Man's dad, is in hospital, he wasn't coming to our house. Because my mother and father are in the ground. They weren't coming to our house unless they were here in spirit. I don't know. So it was actually really nice to not have to drive out and pick someone up from miles away and then bring them back and then feed them and then inevitably, poor old Janet, because I don't drive, has to go and take them back again at the end of the day. So it kind of ruins her day. So at least we had this great sort of session as a family together. I say as a family. There was me, my son, the wife, and the dog. The daughter, the veggie daughter, said, "I'm not sitting with you guys because my meals. I've got to make my own meals separately. I've got to do mine. Once you've got all this stuff out the oven, I've got to put mine in." And she had some wondrous veggie concoction, which I did have some of later on. So he said, "I'm going to sit there with you meat eaters, you carnivores, you animal killers." And so no, she's not that bad. But she said, because I've got to wait for mine, so you'll be devouring yours, so why am I going to sit there? So fair dues. So we had ours, and then she came and finished, got hers, and sat there, and that's the way it happened. So the dog was present for all sittings, of course. Now, what I will say though is that the last few days I have eaten, drunk, made merry, as you're meant to. It's the period of indulgence, overindulgence. But in the years prior, Christmas time, I've always managed to temper it with doing lots and lots of press ups and lots of weights and keeping myself, in shape. I'm in shape right now, but it's not a good shape. Because I haven't done anything workout wise. Again, injuries, the bad back, COVID, this cough, I don't feel it at all. I don't feel any motivation to get it done. And I've weights everywhere in the house, but the weights in the kitchen, what you can't see is the big dining area, which is behind you guys. The weights sort of live under that table, a lot of the free weights which are down here. And so I can always, wherever I am, just start swinging dumbbells around or free weights or whatever. And but I moved them all because obviously we were going to be sitting there, so everything got moved. And where I put them all, I thought, I'll just do a quick workout now. And having just carried them all out there, not at once, that would be Herculean. I picked up the dumbbells and fuck that. That's it. I really, really, truly hope that isn't the new me, where I just can't be bothered. Because I've been much bigger than this. Fucking big. I was like 16 stone at one stage. I'm not even 12 stone at the moment. I know you guys don't believe that, but I'm not. I'm a short ass, and I am quite skinny when it comes down to it. The face kind of betrays that, because I've got the family jowls. I've got cheeks like John Wayne's saddlebags. Which are full. And of ammunition, and so that kind of makes me think, oh, he's a big dude. I'm not at all. But when I do put weight on, and I have in the past, but I've got to work really hard at doing it with correct diet, lots and lots of alcohol, correct diet, and lots of alcohol, I've managed to put on weight and sustain it many times throughout my life. And I'm getting on a bit now, but I still like to keep a certain level of musculature, and that I can feel now is, well, it's dwindled. There's nothing there, but it is what it is. Oh, by the way, fantastic. The Thing t-shirt, Outpost 31, Husky Dog Eyes, the demonic shape-shifting husky dog from The Thing. This t-shirt came courtesy of your friend of mine, Astrodyne, a traveller in time. Astrodyne. It's wonderful, mate. I love this t-shirt. I don't normally wear yellow, but I do like the print. It's fantastic. But I'm also wearing the Wallace tartan. Yeah, that's a very big kilt. It's one of the first kilts I got, and I got the measurements wrong for it. You're meant to measure higher up, but I measured too high up. I measured the chest, well, slightly under the chest, rather than in between the waist and just sort of a bit lower down, from the pecs. And so it was way too big, and I have to really cinch it up to wear it. So I don't wear it very often. But when I do wear it, because they always ask me, oh, what tartan's that? That's a lovely tartan. What tartan's that? And these days I have to look down and go, oh, because I now forget I've got that many. When I put them on, I'm like, what tartan you wearing? I look at it and then I kind of go, shit, which one is this? Because I've got so many of the bastards and so many variations. I'm like, but when you go, oh, this is the Wallace, they sort of go like, no, Mel Gibson did not wear that. And you go, no, it's the real Wallace tartan, not the William Wallace tartan from the film Braveheart, depicting, a Highland warrior, a freedom fighter who did not wear a kilt. And the Scots didn't have tartan in those days. So, that kilt in the movie Braveheart is available, and it's known as the Braveheart. It's not the Wallace tartan. Anyway, I digress. What the hell? There's something behind that me bobble. It's Mr. Kentucky Fudge. He's on top of the oven. What are you doing up there, Mr. Kentucky? You know what's up there as well? There's a little plate with foil over it of stuffing. Lovely M&S stuffing. Yeah, marks and sparks to those in the know. Keep your hands off it, you little imp. Now, as I say, I hope you guys are all having a good time and you're being festive. The family's all got together. You've had a party, you've had loads of food, you've had loads of great prezzies. Everything's been great. Well, there's a yin and yang to all this sort of thing. And sadly, there's another reason why I did not do, another video I was going to do yesterday was the KILT-MAN speech. The Queen used to do the Queen's speech on Christmas Day. Now we have a King, and it was the King's speech. And I was going to do my version, the KILT-MAN speech. And it was going to be humorous, it was going to be all sorts of things. Sadly, I didn't do it. And the reason for that is because, as I say, the yin and yang of Christmas and everything else. And I don't want to go onto a horrible sour note here, but I do want to address this. On Christmas Eve, not far from here, down the road, whilst me and Mrs. KILT-MAN were out in a pub just here, a horrific shooting took place in a pub, which we have been to many times, but we don't normally frequent it. I don't like the pub especially. It's a pub called the Lighthouse. A young woman, conflicting reports as to her age, most say 24, some say 26, was shot and killed outside the pub. And 4 men were also badly injured with other bullets. So, and the shooter got away. Now folks, this sort of thing does not happen around here. It doesn't. And wherever it happens and whenever it happens, it's going to be shocking and horrific. But this was Christmas Eve in a pub that was packed. It's a big pub. It's got a big outside area. It's got a big car park. There were hundreds and hundreds of people there. It's also frequented by a lot of younger people. So a lot of my lads' mates would have been there. Friends of ours were there. They've been there earlier for a meal, a big family meal. The food's great in the place. They've been there earlier, but had left. But we have friends who were still there, who were witnessed, but they were on the inside. This was a group of people who were outside, who were, well, this is the thing, where they targeted. There's been, again, like the poor victim's age, there's been conflicting reports on that. Local radio said that she was targeted, but every other press outlet has said no, she wasn't. They don't know who the target was. Well, the police might know by now, but they never caught the shooter. They drove off. They were in the car park. They didn't go into the pub, but they fired at people outside, and bullets would have gone, could have gone through the windows and took out other people as well. But four other men were having emergency surgery. One is still in a critical condition. Now, we woke up to that news. We went out that night. We could have been down there. We could have been there. No, well, unless we'd been invited there, we would not have been there by choice. Let's be honest. But we were in the Cascos down the road, and we woke up to that news. Oh, it's Christmas. He's been, and all that. Hey. That's me. That's not the kids. Kids don't give a shit. And my phone was going, and I was like, oh my God, what's this? And people were telling me, have you heard about the shooting? Oh my God, you weren't there last night, were you? Do you know anyone who was? Blah, 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 blah. Are you all right? And then the details unfolded. So me and Mr. KILT-MAN spent all morning texting mates, you all right? But you've been out, were you there? And as it turns out, loads were. and people, there were people who they witnessed it, but they were on the inside. They just heard the commotion. The girl was given CPR outside, but she died in hospital. Now, folks, that incident clouded Christmas Day for a lot of reasons. We don't have that kind of stuff happening around here. KILT-MAN doesn't allow it. I don't know how this slipped through the net, and it did. It's just like you think about the family, and they went out to have a good time, and get shot, and one dies. No Christmas. It's ruined for her family. It's ruined forevermore. Christmas will never be the same for them. You know, I mean, these feelings come over and you think, oh, we've got to get the dog hair presents, because that's the exciting part of our Christmas Day. It's giving the dog hair presents, because the dog loves wrapping paper, and her rubber chicken, her squeaky rubber chicken. I bought her that. It goes everywhere. I'm surprised you can't hear it being squeaked and flung around right now, because that is everywhere at the moment. It'll come singing past the frame in a minute. But all of that was sort of curtailed by this only happened down the road, like literally down the road. It's still blocked off. That road's still blocked off. A lot of pubs closed in sympathy. A lot of pubs weren't open anyway on Christmas Day, but many were or should have been, and including the Lighthouse pub itself, which had many bookings for Christmas meals, which they've now pledged to refund everybody and give them a free Christmas meal whenever they want it next. It isn't their fault, God, but it's a great grand gesture from a horrific incident, which I pray that the pub and everyone who was there recovers from. But it did cast a pall over things yesterday, and did bring down the mood, as I'm doing right now. I do apologise, but I did sneak out. Everything was, I put the veg was on. I thought, right, I can. Mrs. KILT-MAN, I took the dog out for a walk. Right, I'm going to leg it down the road, because I know the pub, my second favourite pub, the Telegraph. I've got the Cask and the Telegraph, and the Cask wasn't open anyway, because they're having a big Christmas family do in their pub. How rude not to invite some of their regulars. And so went to the Telegraph. I did think, with all the pubs being around shut, that it might be even more rammed than it would be normally on a Christmas day, which it is. All the seasonal drinkers come out the woodwork. Oh, look, I drink every day, go to the pub every day. So I was justified in like, oh, you bastards. You try to get served. Now, the Telegraph pub's very oddly sort of designed, and the front door opens out onto literally 1.5 foot of pavement, and the speeding buses going past there. I am stunned. Every day I'm stunned that people don't stagger out of there, trip over the curb and get squished by a bus. I'm even more stunned that it hasn't happened to me. But so I goes around there, and yesterday it was a balmy, like 11, 12 degrees. It was gorgeous. And I met some mates who went outside, and we were talking about the incident at the pub, and I know various people, and I got some more information from these people. These aren't bad lads, but they're people that know bad lads, and word on the street filters round. I use them as contacts and snouts, And oh, I told you, we were coasting there without the cough, weren't we? But so I got a bit more information there, and I was about to go in, and it's only a little double doorway. Well, one door, a little vestibule, then another door, and then pretty much you're at the bar. And the bar is a weird shape, the whole thing. There's loads of different parts to it, but it is pokey. There's pinch points everywhere. Oh dear, I've incurred the wrath of the cough, and couldn't get in. Just, oh shit. Well, and this was only just after midday. Oh, bloody hell, it's absolutely rammed already. I looked in over people's shoulders. It was like 3 or 4 deep at the bar. It's like, screw this, not going to bother. So I walked out with another mate of mine and his daughters. His wife had left early to go and prepare the vegetables. I said, oh, I'm way ahead of him. I've already got ours on. So I had to come back without with no alcohol. And no, I went in to say, best wishes to everybody, all the regulars and all my mates who are in there and all that. So it never happened. But anyway, Christmas is Christmas, and it wouldn't be Christmas without dilemmas, madness, chaos. You could do without murders though. That really doesn't play a part in it, does it? So I want to say, deepest sympathies and condolences to all the people who were there at the lighthouse, their families and loved ones of the victims. And it's a truly appalling, abhorrent crime. I still can't get my head around it, to be honest. So, now to round things off, you're going to get the Jaws watch party. Hopefully do that tomorrow. Might do something later on, because I am definitely going to the pub today. And keep my head down, but I'm going to the pub today. Have a couple of drinks and a bit of frivolity, which I didn't get yesterday. And I'll come back and I might watch something to do a little report or a little review on, And it might even be something like a Twilight Zone episode. Yeah, or an Outer Limits. How about that? Just something nice and light. Because I haven't got time to watch a big gargantuan movie now and do a massive 2-hour review. I'm still going to do the big beef dinner. Oh my God. Christmas. It goes on. It goes on for longer than it should do, does it not? I am one of those that, when it gets to Boxing Day, I'm kind of like, get that tree down, get the tinsel down. It's over. This is the anticlimax now. But in many ways, today is not the anticlimax. I hope it isn't for you guys. That's just how I normally feel about it. But because yesterday had this sort of dark cloud hanging over it, that today I think it's going to be a bit more lighter, a bit more frivolous, just a bit more fun, So, you guys keep on having fun, and the future belongs to the mad. I didn't do the Kilted Christmas speech, but you're going to get a New Year's speech, guarantee it. And there'll be some forecasts and some pledges. In the meantime, the site, the channel has grown. We're admittedly a small fry. The KILT-MAN channel it's teensy little tiny thing, but it has grown, and I hope that it will grow even more. I'm going to do what those dog's eyes are staring back at me on the camera there, and that's really unnerving. I'll be honest. How long were you alone with that dog? Well, I'm alone with my dog. For periods of time that are far too unhealthy for a human-canine relationship, let's put it that way. But I do love that dog. So hopefully the channel will grow even more. There'll be more spectacular things. This has not been a good year. We've had great years before this for the channel and for just everything, but this year has not been a good one for me, and I've not been able to put out the content that I wanted to do. But hopefully that will all swing around. We can be hope. Keep cross everything that you've got. Unless you're a vampire, keep away from crosses. It's not good for you. Not good. Right, folks. I have been always shall be KILT-MAN. Please keep it kilted, keep it Celtic. If you've got one of these, take a swig of it now. Cheers, you all. Continue on with the festivities. This is Bernard Herrmann's music from the sequence in Mysterious Island with this little bird running around. Well, little. It's a chick, but it's about 20 foot tall. 20 foot tall. That's quite tall. It's genius, isn't it? So our turkey crown came off something the size of that, because we've still got, I'd say, over half of it. I know turkey goes on forever. Turkey curries, turkey butties, turkey stew, turkey whatever. Just turkey. Cold turkey. Someone must know a thing about that. talking turkey. Do a lot of that as well. In the meantime, and this ever, I don't know, all over the show, yin and yang in between time, please just be yourselves. And I'm going to see you all laters. Now, I'm just a big black chicken. That is actually from Love at First Bite. Wasn't being racist.